My name is Geraldine Barker. I'm a director at the National Audit Office. We've recently published a report looking at the Home Office's handling of the Windrush situation, in which we've concluded that the Home Office failed in its duty of care to protect people from the Windrush generation. The reasons that things went wrong are down to the way that the policies were designed, and they didn't take enough account of how people with poor or little documentation might fare under the system. Secondly, the quality of the data that was used to make decisions. And thirdly, the checks that were carried out, which were looking at the speed and the processes and not looking at whether the right decisions had been made. The Home Office still doesn't know how many people were affected. It's concentrated on Caribbean nationals and so far has apologised to 18 people who may have been wrongfully removed or detained. But we think that it should have looked at a wider group because the issue about poor documentation doesn't just relate to people from the Caribbean. The sorts of problems that people from the Windrush generation have faced are they may have been stopped at the border and asked more questions. They may have been detained, and in some cases, they may have been denied entry or removed from the country. They may also have had their driving licenses taken away or not been able to access other public or private services. The Home Office has started to take steps to put things right, for example, by setting up a task force to help people get documentation and conducting a historical case review to find people who might have suffered harm. But we don't think that that historical case review goes far enough, as it's only focusing on people from the Caribbean. Our recommendations are that the Home Office needs to learn the lessons from this to make sure that other vulnerable people aren't affected. In this case, it needs to identify all the people that have been affected and put right the wrongs that they have suffered. And it needs to improve its systems and its processes. If you think you've been affected by any of the issues raised in our report, you should contact the Home Office Windrush Task Force.